Before you drink your lattes and skip around and act like, nothing's going on. For all you people out there who are on social media and being entertained, there's a world of stuff going on right now, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the partial shutdown, the temporary whatever you want to call it or classify it. We don't know exactly how long at this point that this is going to take place, but we know for sure that as children of God, everything in the word of God is coming to pass. Oh yeah, you're going to see who's going to be of the devil. You're going to see who's going to act crazy. You're going to see who's going to be mobbing people. You're going to see who's going to be robbing people. You're going to see the best and the worst out of people during this time. Oh yeah, anytime when your life is being turned upside down or altered without your control, or you're put in a position or forced in a position where you literally can't get a paycheck and you basically quote unquote like volunteering when you got bills to pay and you got mortgages and stuff, this and that and that and this, and your children have a lifestyle or a standard that they've been accustomed to. Oh yeah, it's about to get real out here. It's about to get real out in here.
In Miami, TSA officer Andrew Voss says he's still on the job, but the government shutdown is making it harder to pay his bills.
To go into a month like this, it's been a gut punch.
The TSA is starting to see staffing issues at these large airports.
I showed up and another lead showed up and only 3 officers showed up. And on that shift, you're supposed to have at maximum, give or take, 16 officers.
And I want to just be real about y'all in terms of food stamps, welfare. If you getting Section 8, if you getting WIC, whatever the case is, I can understand, okay? I know what it is to be blessed enough to have your children with their bellies full and having the opportunity to get help when you need it. And I'm not knocking nobody, to be honest with you. But I will say this. As far as keeping people out of this country that are illegal or that have basically been milking the system, and your own people in this country is starving, is scraping, is trying to survive, and you getting benefits out the wazoo, and you're not even legal in this country, I'm not for that. So Samantha, what are you saying? Should we build a wall? Listen, $5 billion, I think he said $5 billion to build this wall. I think you could get it for no frills price. I think, you on that high scale type. I think I'm all about budgeting. You feel me? You know what I mean? I think that you could get a wall a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean? You could get it something a little bit cheaper. But nevertheless, Genesis 50:20 talks about this. There was a famine in the land, and God told him to store up the grain and the barley, whatever it took in order to save future generations and his people. He was appointed to do that. The bottom line is we have to realize that we have to start storing up when it's plentiful. We don't need to be storing up when the shelves are empty. Oh yeah. Y'all got to get the grains, y'all got to get the wheat, whatever, and store up. See, God gives us insight and revelation as to what to do. If you don't prepare, listen, my food, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast, I'm not trying to this and that. But we have deep freezers. My thank God, you know what I mean? We're in a position where my food stays stocked. Seriously, stay stocked. Overflowing abundance in terms of making sure we got food and supplies. Absolutely. Deep freezers full of tons of food. Deep freezers and regular freezers full of food. All the time. Why? Because we realize that if you prepare and wait, is better than waiting to prepare. Oh yeah. A lot of people are ignorant. Oh yeah. They'd rather buy weaves and get their nails done. $50, $60, $100. Frivolous stuff. Though they pay checks on, we used to say back in the days, kicks, sneakers, tennis shoes, whatever the case is. People overdo it. They have so many movies now. Surviving off the grid, end times. What you gonna do? You better learn how to prep. You better learn how to can your food. You better learn how to fish. You better have enough protection in your household just in case if it get real. If you not for guns, get some pots, pans, and bats. Huh? I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I know. Why? Because this has all been written. People gonna be wilding out. Listen, I'm telling you, I was in the supermarket, and like I'm just keeping it all the way 100. I was in the supermarket just the other day, and I spoke to the lady that was slicing my meat and cheese for the family, cold cuts, and she said this is affecting her job. This government shutdown. And what are you talking? She said that there's so many people that utilize the food stamp system, EBT, that this clientele is affecting her job to where as she doesn't get enough hours. So it's not only just the stores that are going to be affected, it's going to be the jobs that's going to be affected. And it's going to affect school, the purchase of care. I think that's what it's called down here. Purchase of care, meaning basically you get a certain amount of money to pay for your child care, or you don't pay at all for your child care. They're going to cut that. They're going to cut WIC. What are they going to do? I remember when my son is 6 years old going to school now. I remember when I was, when he was a baby, those cans, WIC was a blessing. What? Those cans alone was like, what, $16 to $20? For one can. It don't last long. And if you're not a breastfeeding mother, you through. Your milk done dried up, or your child doesn't latch to your breast. What are you going to do? This is real. So what am I saying? We got to get back to the days where they had no electronics. They were surviving. Listen, you got to learn to do it God's way. And I believe, I'm just letting you know, Samantha, but how we going to get food? And I'm letting you guys know that on a spiritual level, this is not just happenstance that this is happening. This is going to show a little glimpse of how people going to act when it really get deep. I'm talking about when the Antichrist comes. I'm talking when it's chip or die type time. Oh yeah, when it's chip, you get chipped or you die. Why? Because you can't buy or sell. Unless you have the mark of the beast, you can't buy or sell. You're going to go in the supermarket and not be able, some people, to get food. What are you going to do? Anytime you have federal workers, government workers, basically volunteering, and you got paycheck upon paycheck that's piling up, but you ain't seeing it. You got kids that have needs. It's getting real. Listen, those food stamps help people survive. It's a worldwide thing because it's affecting somebody you know. Listen, somebody in your family is being affected by this. Maybe this is a way where God is saying also, listen, have you considered this? That this is bridging families together. That this is making families stronger. Listen, when you don't you ever wonder when it's like tragedy striking or stuff like that, like worldwide events where people literally have to band together. Don't you notice that for some reason, listen, for some reason, it either brings the best or the worst out of people. Either they out there looting, killing, robbing, or they're out there helping and giving up their services and up their time. They're looking out for the elderly. They're looking out for the pets and everybody else, the babies and stuff. It's either one or the other. You're going to have either the one or the other. But it's always that fine line of the hierarchies that are kind of parlaying and eating shrimp in the background. It's the people that have to unite. The people who don't necessarily have the power that the elitists have. That have to come together and start praying more. That have to come together with their resources and not only just praying more, but strategizing. See, this video, you got to realize that you have to be a strategist. And I'm telling you, people going to be wilding out. This is just a start of it. I spoke to young mothers in the same supermarket. And she was saying, if they shut off the food stamps, and they got babies that need to eat, people gonna be going to what's the names like crazy. Listen, Trump is talking about keeping people out. You better worry about people that's here, that's about to loot and wow out. Straight up. Do you really think that mothers that have children are gonna let their children starve? You gotta be out your mind. You gotta be out your mind to think that mothers, especially young mothers that got energy, huh? They gonna be running to those stores and getting what they gotta get for their kids. A family like mine, and I thank God we have tons of food. We have deep freezers, huh? We have tons of food to last us for a long time. Why? Because I have a brain. That's why. And God gives me a brain. You got to store up your stuff. You got to learn how to can. You got to learn how to stockpile. You got to learn how to can. It's your stuff, right? Huh? It's your family, right? You want to make sure they straight. You got to make sure you blessed to be a blessing. You saw what happened. You saw what happened when it was a famine in the land in biblical times. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of people that died who wasn't prepared. But then there was those who made it out. They stored it up. Oh yeah. Which means that they had to sacrifice beforehand. You got to sacrifice those Jordans, huh? You got to sacrifice those freaking concert tickets of the devil. You got to sacrifice. Maybe, not going to dinner twice a week. You got to sacrifice. Because this is not just only affecting low income. This is affecting middle class and upper middle class people. Huh? This is affecting everybody.